right, you're facing the number 1 seed in your bracket. What do you guys have to do this week?
Well, we have to, play probably the best version of ourselves that we can. We have to tweak some things to be ready for a team as good as Florida State. But, the reality is we've gotten here playing a certain way, and we're going to stick to that and just put our best out there against them. I mean, their attempts to get to the Final Four have them under quite a bit of pressure. And they've been around for a long time doing it at that level. I mean, they're all world if you read the papers, and we're just a little old team from West Texas trying to make a name for ourselves.
Speaking of making a name for yourselves, you guys got that first victory. Any worry that the victory you're going to carry over too much?
Well, we hope the victory carries over, just in a matter of confidence. I mean, I think when you have a home game and it's your first ever NCAA game, 2,000 people pile into your stadium, there's some expectation and pressure that we're not going to have on the road against the top seed. What I was so proud of our girls was that they brought it in front of that many people, knowing that we were the favorite in that game. So that gives them great confidence that we hope carries over to our trip to Florida.
Well, and talk about how your players seem to step up when it counts most, including Dawn Ward on Saturday with both goals.
Well, I think we've got a group of seniors that recognize every game could be their last, and if they want this team to continue, if they want this story to continue to be written, they're going to have to give us everything they've got and then some. And Dawn is a great example of that. Given the chance, she had to stick her head in there and score a great goal and risk injury, and she did, and then scored another great goal and got taken down again. So Dawn is a good example of kind of the desperation that our team is playing with to keep this thing rolling.
You had a chance to look at Florida State yet on film? And
yeah.
So what have you seen?
Well, we've seen really a typical Mark Krikorian team, good in possession, full of internationals. I think they got 5 or 6 international players. It's really not an American-based team. That's the way he likes to build his teams. And they play a good brand of possession soccer, which we do as well. I've known Mark for years. His teams have always played this way, so it's pretty consistent with what we've been used to for him.
In the post game for your UNT game, you mentioned that it wasn't a physical game. Do you expect a physical game against Florida State? Or
on the ball, it will be physical because both teams are strong. Both teams are pretty feisty. It will be physical on the ball. It won't be dirty. It won't be late. It won't be a matter of the referee having to keep it under control. That's not the kind of game it'll be. But on the ball, they'll be really good, physical, strong athletes fighting hard to hold it. And I think you got to be prepared for that aspect of the at the point of confrontation, there's going to be a lot of hitting, a lot of tackling. So from that standpoint, you got to be ready to battle. But we don't expect anything dirty or late, or that's just not the kind of team either one of us are.
And then you've mentioned all season long, the strength of the Big 12, and then they're coming obviously from the ACC. How would you say the conferences compare, and how will you guys hold up against an ACC team?
Well, we'll find out. We haven't played one. So I think the ACC certainly prepares Florida State probably as well as any conference could prepare a team to be a number 1 seed because of the schedule they have to play. But they prepare them in a certain way. And the way they've prepared them is not necessarily the Big 12 way. So what they're going to see from us is not what they see. At the same time, you couldn't ask for a better schedule to get ready than the one they've played. So the ACC stands alone with the most national championships because of North Carolina. Virginia was a great champion this year. Florida State won the regular season. So, yeah, the ACC's got them ready. There's no question. But the Big 12 has gotten us ready for maybe a little bit different brand, and we're going to try to play that, brand to its hilt.
Now, would you say there's a team that you've played that maybe compares to Florida State, or are they
No, they're the best possession team that we will have seen. To be honest, we didn't play a lot of teams that passed the ball that well. Long Beach State was very good in possession. That's a pretty good example of where we trade possessions with them. But in terms of passing, Florida State will be the best team in that regard.
I think we just have to execute. I think it's our biggest game of the year, obviously. NCAA Tournament is really important. It's huge that we got past the first round for the first time in school history, so that's really cool. But I think we just need to play our game and be us, because when we are who we are so good, and we can play with anyone and beat anyone from what we believe. And we've taken lots of time to go through what they do and how to play against them and execute what we want to do against them. So we're all excited, and I think we're ready to get down there.
You guys are 15-0 when you guys score first. Is that going to be a point of emphasis this week?
Definitely. I think it's definitely easier to score first and play the game ahead one. It's definitely hard coming from behind, but we've had to do it many times this season. So if that's the case, then I have complete confidence in the team to get it done. But going into every game, mentality is let's go to goal first, let's put them down, let's put them on their heels, and keep going at them. So, we like being the underdog, so we're excited to get down there and hopefully get the win.
Feel like you're peaking at the right time of the season?
Definitely. I mean, Coach Stone always has said from the beginning of the season, postseason is when we're going to peak fitness-wise, and that's definitely how we are now. I mean, we can play with our starting 11 for 90 minutes if we had to, but we have such a deep bench that we're able to keep fresh legs out there. But, I mean, we're peaking at the top of our game as well, and when we move the ball around and when we keep it on the ground and when we play our game, there's really no one that we can't play with.
Obviously, you guys got to host the first round match, and now you're going down to Tallahassee. And how tough is it going to be to win in their place?
Obviously, it's definitely harder going anywhere, and I mean, it was probably really hard for North Texas to come here and listen to our fans and have this place packed, but it's just going to be just as hard for us. Their fans are rowdy, but we've dealt with it before. I mean, we traveled to West Virginia where there's some pretty rowdy fans down there, and we played the best game of the season. So I think with all that, it kind of gets us more excited and ready, and we just want to show them that they're not good enough to kick us out, and we're going to come in and show them what Texas Tech soccer's about and bring the Red Raider pride to Tallahassee.
You know, we're excited. I think we just need to play our own game and make the most of the opportunities we have in front of goal. And I know they'll be looking at doing the same thing, but I think we play a similar game, so if we can just exploit their weaknesses and stay strong on defense, then we've got a good shot at the win.
You guys are 15-0 when you score first. How important is that this week?
It's important in terms of, you know, giving us a boost at the start of the game. If we get an early goal, that would be awesome. But hey, we're up for anything. If it's the last minute and that gives us the win, then there's no worries.
And then,
You guys feel like you're peaking at the right time of the season? Just talk about that. Do you feel like you guys are peaking at the right time of the season?
Definitely. You know, the first, I'd say, third of the season, we're still getting our roots, but we managed to get some good wins, especially in California against Long Beach State and Cal State Fullerton. Middle third of the season, again, not too bad, but still looking at improving. And this last third of the season, I think we've really found our peak and managed to take off. But hey, it's not the end of it yet.
And then you have the most career shutouts in Tech history. So what do you make of that now?
To be honest, I didn't actually know. I wasn't following it too closely, and I found out after the game on Saturday. I'm very fortunate that I've got a good set of defense in front of me, and it all comes down to, if you don't have many shots on in each game, then it makes it easier to get a shutout. So it's definitely a team round effort.
And then defensively, what are you guys going to have to do in this match against Florida State? Because obviously they have a very good possession offense like you guys do.
Sure, I think, just not giving away stupid fouls in front of the box, defending set plays well, those kind of things, and just, clearing out the ball, just not giving away anything stupid in front of goal. Really, I think we have a strong defense, and if we can just play how we usually play, then I think we can shut them out.
Is your team peaking at the right time?
Well, there's no question. We finished the season as strong as we ever have. I think that's why we've won 8 out of the last 9 or something like that. Fitness-wise, we're fresh. And when you're fresh fitness-wise, your mind is fresh, and you got to jump in your step, and you got an excitement in your game, and that's where we are right now. Some teams are on the decline this time of year. I feel like we're still on the uptick, so that's a great sign for us.